Just in reality, I mean, I wish I had a good story to tell you, but it was just a freak accident. What's happening, family? Welcome to Romo Strength, where resiliently overcoming my obstacles is taught to be your inner voice. It's been a little while, so first let me say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for you being here. Whether you subscribed or just stumbled across this video, I truly appreciate your time. All right, so today I want to catch you up on some personal things, starting with my recent shoulder surgery, give you an inside look of my upcoming book launch, and share a few thoughts on why personal development is more than just a buzzword, especially in this current state that I'm in right now. So let's first start with surgery. So I had rotator cuff surgery a couple of weeks ago, actually May 28th to be exact, due to a snowboarding accident that resulted in a slap tear, a high-grade partial supraspinatus tear, or spinatus, however you want to say it, and a moderate infraspinatus tear. So, you know, it was a rough injury and the surgery was necessary. Obviously, I had to do it big, unfortunately. I kicked and screamed about getting surgery in the first place. I did not want to do it. The injury actually happened January 4th of this year. And before you ask, no, I was not doing anything crazy while snowboarding. No, it's not my first time snowboarding. I'm actually pretty decent. I've been snowboarding for, more than a few years now. Just in reality, I mean, I wish I had a good story to tell you, but it was just a freak accident. No one calls it. It just, yeah, it sucks. I wrapped my brain around it multiple times trying to figure out what the heck happened. But anyway, once the injury happened, I wanted to try to heal. I waited 5 months later to have surgery for several reasons. The first reason, my wife and I were celebrating our 20-year anniversary. So sometime around September 2024, I asked her to marry me again. I was a little nervous. She wasn't going to say yes because I've been, a little bit of a knucklehead in the earlier part of our years. More to come on that. However, she said yes. The plan was for us to renew our vows in Costa Rica, which we did. With that said, I did not want to be busted up recovering in Costa Rica. I wanted the vow renewal was important, but I also wanted to have fun. Reason number two, honestly, I believed I could heal my rotator cuff without having to have surgery. I wanted to just do it with rehab. I had great range of motion. I was very functional, but even with all that rehab, I was only about 60%. And maybe a lot of you all don't know, but I am a pro natural bodybuilder, and I have to train a lot. And with training a lot, I mean, honestly, just in general, in bodybuilding, you have to train. So only functioning at 60% will just create imbalances and frustrations. So in case you're wondering, how did I get my pro status or when I got it? I received it late 2023. I earned my pro status as a natural competitor, had big plans on stepping on the stage this year as a pro with OCB, but obviously plans changed. So, here I am. Anyway, after Costa Rica, I had surgery. Recovery has not been easy. I have not experienced a lot of pain, just some soreness and some stiffness. Mainly, I've just been frustrated with just not being able to do what I want to do. I have to be in a sling for 4 weeks. I haven't been able to drive for 4 weeks. My doctor tells me it'll take about 12 weeks before I can even start back training again with some, real resistance training. But anyway, with that said, I have to postpone getting on stage until probably 2026. It's disappointing, it's frustrating, but it's been eye-opening. The forced pause honestly gave me space to reflect, reset, and really face the parts of myself I usually avoid with just being busy. Honestly, sometimes growth requires stillness. Sometimes the lessons isn't in pushing harder, it's just surrendering and learning how to heal properly. And, if I want to be back at my peak, I have to heal properly. So anyway, there's so much to unpack about that. I will talk to you all about that at another time. Trust and believe. But anyway, I'm just so blessed and thankful to be recovering and healing. So, switching gears, going on to the book. I've been working on this book for a while, and honestly, my book is almost here. This isn't your typical book. I wrote a self-help book, but not filled with fluffy inspiration or a one-size-fit-all blueprint. It's something that I called a progress playbook. It's designed to meet you where you are. You can read it from front to back, or you can skip around. You can skip chapters, just whatever you need at that moment, wherever you need to grow and develop. Whether you're dealing with self-doubt, burnout, anxiety, struggling to find direction, I believe there's something in this book for you. It's a blend of some of my personal journey, my leadership lessons, and mindset shifts that help me get back on track. And honestly, writing it, just, editing and reviewing it has really helped me to just kind of realign through this healing process. I emphasize throughout the book, I am no guru. I'm just a guy who took the time to put together a playbook, just to help myself and to help others, just to be completely honest with you. The topics discussed are not rocket science. It's tried and true information. And honestly, it's packaged in a way to be easily digestible. I even pulled in some faith-based reflections because I believe God often does his best work in our broken places, in the places where we are still enough to listen. So anyway, if you're looking for clarity, confidence, or just a reset, I personally believe this book is for you. Details on the release date, the pre-orders, they're all coming soon, so please stay tuned. I will place my website in the description. Check out the website to stay up to date. And honestly, check out the website for my blogs as well. I'm doing those too. All right, so now let's talk about the bigger picture. Why does it even matter? So I would like to talk through each chapter of the book that I just mentioned, but with a different twist. In the upcoming weeks, I will give more insight on the content written, why it was written, and just fill in the gaps of the stuff I wish I added. Some of the topics are pretty broad. However, for the sake of keeping things simple, stupid, I did not overcomplicate things in the book, because I believe if you can simplify a complex topic, that means you really have a good grasp of the topic in general. Using a bunch of big words or speaking a bunch of big words means nothing. It's all about making it make sense. All right, so chapter 1 is the first chapter we're going to dive into, which is understanding personal development. So why personal growth? Why all this work on self-awareness? Does it even matter? What's the point? Honestly, I feel like it does matter, and I do believe there's a point. It matters because if you don't intentionally develop yourself, life will shape you in a way, and a lot of times it is not in healthy ways. Our everyday landscape is noisy. We're constantly being pulled by expectations, distractions, and fears. Personal development is how you quiet that noise and how you come back to yourself. It's how you say, I won't live in autopilot. I'm not going to just walk through the day like a zombie. So now let's talk about something that most people overlook, unfortunately. That overlooked thing is core values. What is core values? Core values is the deep down, non-negotiable truths that guide your decisions. It's like the GPS of your soul, so to speak. So here's the deal. If you don't know your values, you'll end up chasing things that look good on the outside, but leave you empty on the inside. Trust me when I say this, I've been there. I still struggle with hustling for approval, juggling roles, and just trying to be everything for everybody. I like to say I'm better these days, but overcoming the struggle, honestly, it just takes intentionality. I have to be intentional. So core values are your why behind the what. They're the reason you say yes to some things and absolutely no thank you to others. They're how you know when you're out of alignment. You know you're out of alignment when your spirit is screaming no, but your people-pleasing self says, sure, I'll do it. Check yourself. You need to check your core values if that's happening. So when I got clear on my core values, things like authenticity and faith and growth, it meant more to me, and it started making more sense to me once I started really diving in. I wasn't just moving, I was moving with meaning. So what's your values? I'm going to show a list of 15 values. Your job, pause this video, look at the list, and pick your top 3. I do not want you to pick what sounds good, what sounds right. I want you to pick what feels true. I want you to pick the ones that reflect you at your best. So I'll wait. Pick your 3. Got your 3? Okay, cool. Now ask yourself, are you living them or just liking the idea of them? Question number 2, do your goals, habits, and relationships support them? Last question, if not, what's one shift you can make this week to get you back into alignment? Please drop your 3 core values in the comments. I'd love to see what matters the most to you. If this helped you reflect, hit the like button so YouTube knows that this type of growth content matters. Your values aren't about who you should be. They're about who you already are when you're being real. Know your values and you'll know who you are. Know your values and you'll know your direction. For the next video, I'm thinking about doing a 7-question, 7-day challenge. More to come on that later, but right now let's just get back on topic. Truth growth happens when you're willing to reflect, reset, and realign with what truly matters. It's messy, it's not always glamorous, but it's worth it. Because when you grow, you give others the permission to do the same. You lead better, you love better, and you live better. So that's it. That's where I'm at. I'm recovering, I'm reflecting, I'm writing, and I'm rebuilding. If you've been in the season where life feels heavy, it feels unclear, or painful, I get it. I mean, it's not my first surgery, and anyway, I don't want to babble. Trust me, I get it. But I promise you, there's purpose in this. Keep doing the work, keep showing up, and keep growing. If you found value in this video, please like it, please share it. I will be so honored if you subscribe. The book release is just around the corner. I'll be sure to be sharing updates and possible giveaways. However, if you do not subscribe, you might miss the giveaway. Anyway, thanks again for being part of this journey. I'll see you on the next one. Peace and progress. I'm out.